Hello, my name is Alvin, and today I'll be showing you guys my recipe for the best fudgy brownies ever. So box mix brownies, they're great. There's nothing against them. They're awesome. But the thing is, I wanted something that was a little bit different. I didn't want the recipe to be just something you could get out of a box. I want the fudgiest brownies ever. I want a lot of chocolate in there. I want it to be warm and gooey when you eat it. I wanted people to take a bite and be like, oh damn, this is fudgy AF. So I set off to make the fudgiest brownies ever. It requires a lot of chocolate, which is a great thing. And I think the most important thing is that you make sure that all of your ingredients are evenly combined. Make sure that your eggs are actually whisked a little bit more than usual because you want to beat a little bit of air into them to get that really silky texture. That was one thing that I learned from testing, was that if you beat your eggs a little bit more than normal, you're going to get a lot creamier sort of base that will make the brownie a lot fudgier. Another thing I would say is that don't use just any chocolate bar you find at the store. Try to make sure you get really good chocolate because it will make the difference. You will taste the difference, and try to get a little bit extra because I always found myself eating at least half a bar before the recipe was even done. So definitely have some extra chocolate on hand to snack on because you're gonna need it. I really think that people love baking brownies. I think it's such a fun activity. Baking is something that innately requires you to go hang out with a friend. Like, I really wanted a recipe that people could use as a way to invite other people to hang out with them. I like being able to see these nice gooey pools of chocolate on top, so I'm gonna save some chocolate and also put some chunks on top of the brownie at the end, because I think when it comes out of the oven, you know, like, this is a legit brownie. This didn't come from a box. This came from your own hands, and your friends are gonna go crazy and people are gonna want you to share, but I don't want you to share, even though if you want to share, because I ate the whole tray one time and I did not regret a single thing. You want to make sure that your brownies are baked but not over baked, because when you take it right out of the oven, it might seem like it's a little soft in the center, not everything's set, and that's okay because there's a lot of chocolate in there and that's going to be melted at that point. What you want to do, which would be probably the hardest part to do in this entire recipe, is to wait. You need to wait for it to cool down completely, because even when it cools down completely, the chocolate won't harden. If it's really good chocolate, there should be some gooiness, some liquidity as it cools. So even when you cut into it and it's not warm anymore, you'll still have these nice gooey pools of chocolate. It's your recipe, you can do whatever you want with it. You can add nuts, you can add caramel, you can add whatever you like. Just be sure that once you put more toppings in, you're going to need to bake it for a little bit longer, because now you're preventing the batter from rising and cooking as fast as it usually would. So if you add something in, just bake it a little more, and honestly, brownies are great no matter what. If you want to be a little fancy and you have some coarse or flaky sea salt on hand, sprinkle a little bit of salt on the brownies while they're still hot, so the salt becomes a part of the brownie as it cools. And when you cut it, that salt's gonna be this really nice touch that counteracts the flavor and the sweetness of the chocolate. Make sure you pour yourself a really nice glass of cold milk, because you can't have brownies without milk, just like cookies. I love this recipe. I think it's a great base recipe for any brownie that you want to make. So if you do make it, if you have a variation on it, if you add crazy things in, I want to know too. So let me know, post in the comments, and I want to see your stuff. I love to see when people make my recipes. So happy baking.